back for another reading lesson. For today's reading lesson, we're going to be looking at prairie habitats. You're going to see a common theme all this week. It's all about different types of habitats. And I did forest habitats because we do have large forests here in Minnesota. We also do have prairie habitats here in Minnesota. So it's kind of cool. And we actually we have quite a few different habitats, which makes Minnesota unique because we do get a lot of different kinds of plants and animals that live here because of that. This book is by Marilla S. Miller, and it explores the prairie, including different types of prairie grass, special prairie animals, and current threats to the world's prairies. So, if you already noticed, this book actually follows a very similar kind of structure and organization. It starts off with a great introduction. The last one was about welcome to forest habitats. This one is welcome to prairie habitats. So really good introduction, highlights all the chapters. There's a chapter on where are the world's prairies. I am not going to do my summary on that one because I'm going to show you something a little different. But there is one on what do prairies look like, prairie weather, plants of the prairie, living in the grass, living underground, which those are actually the two that I'm going to do. In the last video lesson, I was kind of talking about how you should choose just one chapter. Well, you can choose two as long as they're connected. And these two chapters, living in the grass and living underground, are very connected. Then they have one focusing just on the amazing prairie dog, which is one of the animals that lives there. And then they also, again, have another threats to the prairie. And in the last lesson, I didn't really point that out, but that is really a persuasive opinion type chapter that is trying to kind of tell you, what is causing problems for prairies and, why we should try to take care of the prairies. Now, as we are reading this book, we are going to be using the same graphic organizer and using the same goal. So you can read it with me here at I can determine. Ready? I can determine the main idea of my text and use key details for support. So determine meaning figure out. So we're going to try to figure out what that main idea is. And a main idea really is like one sentence of what that whole chapter or a couple chapters are all about. And then we're going to use key details, those most important parts, those most important facts to really help explain why that is the main idea. And we are going to be using this graphic organizer again. So we have the summary parts. That's the name of the article or type of text or the book, whatever. So in the book, I can already fill that out. Prairie habitats. Author's name. Different author this time. Don't want to mess up her first name. Marilla. I knew it was close to that. I just didn't want to mess it up. Marilla S. Miller. Now, I'm not going to do anything else because I want you to listen to the chapters first. But then you need to choose one of the actions. Is she informing, acclaiming? Is she explaining anything? Or is it more persuaded? And then what's that main idea of the article or text? That's that gist. So that the main idea is about what? And then down below, you're going to take, just like I showed you in the last one, you're going to take all these ideas up here and you're going to rewrite a whole new summary paragraph. And then after you kind of write all these things, like in the book Prairie Habitats, Marilla S. Miller informed that the main idea is about something, then you add those three key details. First, also, another fact is. So we'll get into the book. Now, even though I'm not going to be doing the introduction, I am still going to read it to you. Welcome to the prairie. Prairies are found across a large part of North America. They are flat and rolling grasslands. Prairies are full of life. Different grasses and other plants grow there. Prairies are also home to many animals. Plants and animals work together to live in prairies. Tall grasses give shade to animals. Some animals produce or make hidden tunnels. These holes allow plant roots to receive more water. Earth's prairies are in danger, though. Some human activities are bad for prairies. Many prairies are turned into farmland. This results in loss of animal life. Changes in weather are making prairies warmer. There is also less rainfall. These dangers are harmful to prairies. They also hurt the animal and plant life. Now, it does sound like a really good persuasive type ending in that last chapter, but I am not going to be doing that one today. Like I already kind of told you, I'm going to be looking at two different parts about animals that live above ground and underground. But a really good summary, a good introduction here. This, again, though, is not one I would want to do. Caption here, grass covers rolling and flat prairie lands. Here, this is definitely what a prairie looks like. Just lots of different kinds of grasses. I used to live in southern Minnesota and in northern Minnesota, and both places do have prairies. And these open stretches of wide open spaces, to me, are breathtaking. Living in the Twin Cities area now, where you always see are buildings and homes, and like seeing the big skyscrapers downtown Minneapolis are always really cool. But when you get out to wide open land like this, in my opinion, that too is also, it's breathtaking. Now, I am going to read this chapter too. I'm not summarizing it, but I'm just going to give you just an example summary of this one. Just because it's good to know where are the world's prairies. Prairies are found in central North America. This area is also called the Great Plains. 10 U.S. states make up the Great Plains. 3 Canadian provinces are also a part. The Rocky Mountains border the Great Plains to the west. The mountains block range to the prairies. They also stop trees from growing. So, looking over this big map of North America, you can see like right through the center, that is the Great Plains. Those are the prairies. Now, it does go through most of the United States, right through the middle, and then up into Canada. When it mentioned provinces for Canada, a province is kind of like a state. In our country, United States, we have 50 different states that make up the whole country. Canada has provinces that make up the whole country of Canada. So just really similar. There are 3 types of prairie. Tall grass prairies are the wettest. The grasses here can grow more than 5 feet, 1.5 meters tall. Tall grass prairies are found in the eastern Great Plains. This area is around Kansas. The driest type of prairie is the short grass prairie. These prairies are at the bottom of the Rocky Mountains. Grasses here do not grow taller than 2 feet. Just a little over a half a meter. And that again is, those Rocky Mountains are blocking a lot of rain, so they just don't grow as tall. Then the middle of the Great Plains is called mixed grass prairie. These prairies are not as dry as short grass prairies. They also are not as wet as tall grass prairies. Some grasses in mixed grass prairies are short, others are tall. And it's kind of a little cool too with prairie grass. It talks about like the height of those grasses. And some are, really quite tall. Some can grow more than 5 feet tall. That's pretty big. The craziest thing to me, though, is they don't talk about in this chapter, but the root systems of those grass goes even deeper. Huge. They grow just massive, as big as like tree root systems. And tree root systems are really big. They go stretch out really far, dig really deep. So do grasses too. We're going to quick pause here, and I'm not going to write out the summary for this one. I'll just kind of talk it out. But I want you just to think about everything that I read there. What would your summary be? Main idea and 3 key details.